Juan Pablo Aristizabal from Colombia is third. Juan Martin Botero from Colombia is first. Best lap is a 1:31.524. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P4 up 0.11. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is up 0.15 in Mercedes. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is up 0.08 in Saxcoat. Five minutes remaining in the session. Juan Martin Botero in hairpin is P1 up 0.12. J.Enriquez from Colombia is third up 0.10. Juan Martin Botero in Mercedes is P1 up 0.19. J.Enriquez is third up 0.27. J.Enriquez is up 0.29 in Mobile 1 code. Juan Martin Botero in Parabolica is P2. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in hairpin is P3 up 0.10. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is up 0.05 in Mobile 1 cove. Juan Pablo Aristizabal improved his P2 with a 131.345. 183 off pole. J.Enriquez is first. Juan Martin Botero in hairpin is P3 up 0.12. Juan Martin Botero is up 0.12 in Mobile 1 code. Juan Martin Botero is provisional pole with a 131.284. Juan Martin Botero is up 0.24 in Parabolica. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is third up 0.13. Juan Martin Botero in Mobile 1 Cov is P2 up 0.10. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P3 up 0.08. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is up 0.15 in Mobile 1 Cov. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is provisional pole with a 130.998. The race session is at Hockenheimring Baden-Württemberg in Baden WA 1/4 Germany. The wind speed is 4 km/h from the south-southwest. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P2. Director is 7th. Race start. J.Enriquez from Colombia is P3. Leonardo Bustamante from Colombia is P3. J.Enriquez in Parabolica is P3. J.Enriquez passed Leonardo Bustamante for second. Leonardo Bustamante is third. Juan Pablo Aristizabal from Colombia in Mercedes is fifth. Leonardo Bustamante in Mobile 1 Cup is third. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is fifth. Leonardo Bustamante in Nordcup is third, 0.3 behind J.Enriquez. From Colombia is fourth, 0.4 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Leonardo Bustamante is P3, 0.3 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Leonardo Bustamante lost third to Juan Martin Botero. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is fifth, 0.5 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Leonardo Bustamante is P4, 0.3 behind Juan Martin Botero. Juan Pablo Aristizabal from Colombia in Nordkov is P5, 0.5 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Pablo Aristizabal passed Leonardo Bustamante for P4. Leonardo Bustamante is P5, 0.2 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Juan Martin Botero from Colombia is P3, 0.6 behind J.Enriquez. Leonardo Bustamante from Colombia is 5th, 1.4 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Juan Martin Botero is 3rd, 1.1 behind J.Enriquez. Leonardo Bustamante is P5, 1.2 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Juan Martin Botero is P3, 0.7 behind J.Enriquez. Leonardo Bustamante is P5, 1.2 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Juan Martin Botero on lap 5 is P3, 0.8 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez is P2, 1.1 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Botero is third, 1.3 behind Javier Enriquez. Juan Pablo Aristizabal on lap 6 is 4th, 1.1 behind Juan Martin Botero. Javier Enriquez in Saxcov is P2, 1.3 behind Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P4, 1.2 behind Juan Martin Botero. Javier Enriquez from Colombia is second, 0.8 behind Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Martin Acuna from Colombia in Saxcov is P1, 1.0 ahead of Javier Enriquez. Javier Enriquez on lap 8 is second, 0.9 behind Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in hairpin is P4, 2.1 behind Juan Martin Botero. Javier Enriquez is P2, 1.1 behind Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in Nordkov is P4, 2.2 behind Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Botero in hairpin is third, 1.4 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez in Mobile 1 Cup is P2, 1.3 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Botero from Colombia in Nordcup is third, 1.1 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez in hairpin is P2, 1.0 behind Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Martin Botero is P3, 1.4 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez in Nordcup is second, 1.1 behind Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in Parabolica is P4, 4.6 ahead of Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Martin Botero is third, 0.8 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez in Parabolica on lap 12 is P2, 0.9 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Botero on lap 12 is P3, 0.2 behind J.Enriquez. Juan Martin Acuna is first. Juan Martin Botero is third, 0.5 behind Javier Enriquez. Javier Enriquez in Parabolica is second. Best lap is a 1:32.002. Juan Martin Botero is third, 0.5 behind Javier Enriquez. Juan Martin Acuna in Saxcov is first. Juan Martin Botero is third, 0.8 behind Javier Enriquez. Leonardo Bustamante in Parabolica is P5, 4.9 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Juan Martin Botero from Colombia is third, 0.8 behind Javier Enriquez. Carlos Huertas from Colombia in Mercedes is P6. Juan Martin Botero in hairpin is P3, 0.7 behind Javier Enriquez. Leonardo Bustamante in Mercedes is fifth, 0.7 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Juan Martin Botero is third, 0.8 behind J.Enriquez. Leonardo Bustamante is P5, 0.5 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Leonardo Bustamante was 3.9 faster last lap. Juan Martin Botero is third, 1.0 behind J.Enriquez. Leonardo Bustamante from Colombia is P5, 0.4 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Juan Martin Botero is third, 3.2 behind J.Enriquez. Juan Martin Botero entering the pits is third. J.Enriquez is second, 2.3 behind Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Pablo Aristizabal entering the pits is fifth. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P5. Best lap is a 1:32.118. 0.116 off the fastest lap. Juan Martin Botero exiting pits. Juan Martin Acuna is first. Juan Pablo Aristizabal exiting pits. Juan Martin Botero is fourth. Juan Martin Acuna is first, 1.9 ahead of J.Enriquez. Juan Martin Acuna entering the pits is first. J.Enriquez entering the pits is second. Juan Martin Botero is P4. Leonardo Bustamante entering the pits is P3. Leonardo Bustamante is P3, 1.6 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Acuna exiting pits. Juan Martin Botero is P1. J.Enriquez exiting pits. Leonardo Bustamante is fourth, 4.7 ahead of Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Leonardo Bustamante exiting pits. Leonardo Bustamante lost P4 to Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Carlos Huertas entering the pits is sixth. J.Enriquez is P3. Carlos Huertas exiting pits. Leonardo Bustamante in Mercedes is fifth. Juan Martin Botero is P1, 1.6 ahead of Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Martin Acuna is P2, 1.1 behind Juan Martin Botero. Carlos Huertas on lap 19 is 6th. Juan Martin Acuna is 2nd, 0.5 behind Juan Martin Botero. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is 4th. Juan Martin Acuna in Mobile 1 Cup on lap 20 is 2nd, 0.6 behind Juan Martin Botero. J.Enriquez in Nordcup is 3rd, 1.3 behind Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Martin Botero is P2, 0.4 behind Juan Martin Acuna. Juan Martin Acuna was 0.5 faster last lap. J.Enriquez is 3rd, 0.4 behind Juan Martin Botero. J.Enriquez was 1.6 faster last lap. Juan Martin Botero from Colombia is P2, 0.5 ahead of J.Enriquez. Juan Martin Acuna in Nordcup is P1, 1.8 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. J.Enriquez in Parabolica is P3, 1.3 behind Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Botero was 0.7 faster last lap. Carlos Huertas is P6. Leonardo Bustamante in Mercedes on lap 22 is P5. J.Enriquez is P3, 0.9 behind Juan Martin Botero. Carlos Huertas from Colombia is P6. J.Enriquez on lap 23 is third, 0.3 behind Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Acuna in Nordkapp on lap 24 is first. J.Enriquez on lap 24 is third, 0.1 behind Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Botero is third. Juan Martin Botero passed J.Enriquez for P2. J.Enriquez is third, 0.3 behind Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Botero is second, 0.5 ahead of J.Enriquez. Juan Martin Botero entering the pits is third. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P4. Juan Pablo Aristizabal passed Juan Martin Botero for P3. Juan Martin Botero is fourth. Best lap is a 1:32.008. 0.375 off the fastest lap. Juan Martin Botero exiting pits. Juan Martin Botero lost P4 to Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Martin Acuna from Colombia in Mobile 1 Cup is P1. Carlos Huertas is 6th. Juan Martin Acuna is 1st. Juan Martin Botero in Parabolica is P5. Leonardo Bustamante is 4th, 3.0 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Leonardo Bustamante was 27.0 faster last lap. Carlos Huertas is 6th. Juan Martin Botero from Colombia is 5th, 2.9 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Leonardo Bustamante in Mercedes is P4. Best lap is a 1:32.585. 0.952 off the fastest lap. Juan Martin Botero is 5th, 2.8 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Leonardo Bustamante from Colombia in Parabolica is P4, 2.7 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Botero on lap 28 is 5th, 3.1 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is 3rd. Carlos Huertas is 6th. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P3. Carlos Huertas entering the pits is P6. Carlos Huertas exiting pits. Juan Martin Botero is P5, 2.9 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in hairpin is P3. Carlos Huertas is P6. Leonardo Bustamante is 4th, 2.3 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Botero is 5th, 2.5 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is 3rd. Juan Pablo Aristizabal entering the pits is third. Juan Martin Acuna is P1. Juan Pablo Aristizabal exiting pits. J.Enriquez in Mercedes is P2. Leonardo Bustamante in Mercedes is P3, 2.1 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Acuna is P1. Juan Martin Botero is fourth. Leonardo Bustamante from Colombia in Mercedes is third, 2.4 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. J.Enriquez is second. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P5. Juan Martin Botero in hairpin is fourth. Juan Martin Acuna entering the pits is P1. Juan Martin Acuna is P1. Juan Martin Botero is P4, 4.4 ahead of Juan Pablo Aristizabal. J.Enriquez entering the pits is P2. Juan Martin Acuna exiting pits. J.Enriquez is second. J.Enriquez exiting pits. Leonardo Bustamante entering the pits is P3. Leonardo Bustamante is 4th, 0.6 ahead of Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Juan Martin Botero is P3. Leonardo Bustamante is 5th. Leonardo Bustamante exiting pits. Juan Martin Acuna on lap 35 is first. J.Enriquez is second, 3.9 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Carlos Huertas entering the pits is sixth. Juan Martin Acuna is first. Carlos Huertas exiting pits. J.Enriquez on lap 36 is second, 3.8 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Carlos Huertas in Mercedes is sixth. J.Enriquez in Parabolica is second, 4.6 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Acuna is P1. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is fourth, 4.1 behind Juan Martin Botero. Juan Martin Acuna in hairpin is P1. Juan Martin Botero in Mercedes is P3. Director entering the pits is 7th. J.Enriquez in subcurve is P2. Leonardo Bustamante in Saxcove is 5th. Juan Martin Acuna in Mobile 1 Cup is 1st. J.Enriquez in subcurve is 2nd. Leonardo Bustamante in Saxcove on lap 39 is 5th. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P4, 4.2 behind Juan Martin Botero. The leader has just finished the race. Juan Martin Acuna finished 1st. J.Enriquez finished 2nd. Juan Martin Botero finished P3. Juan Pablo Aristizabal finished P4. Carlos Huertas is 6th. Carlos Huertas finished 6th. Leonardo Bustamante finished 5th.